Be willing to show up for your veteran, your friend, your loved one. Be willing to trust your gut, follow your heart, take a risk. Be the one willing to ask, to guess wrong, to even offend another, to keep them safe, to remind them that they are valuable. If you know a veteran, be the one to reach out and make them a part of your life.
Be the one walk for suicide prevention for veterans, which you should be able to see in the screen above. There's going to be a 2.2-mile walk on Saturday at 7:45 a.m., meeting up at Southeast Christian Church in Elizabethtown. And the purpose of this walk is to spread suicide awareness about the prevention of veteran suicide and the Be the One initiative, which you can learn more at betheone.org.
I've buried two best friends now. Let me put it to you this way. They say that the battlefield and whatnot is probably one of the worst things that you can watch a friend go through. Now, watching them survive it and then watch them destroy themselves when they come home, that's what's worse. And that's the true battle. All your warriors, once they come home, some of them don't know what to do. This place gives you a new sense of purpose. I might not be here today if it weren't for this place. To me, that means a lot. New chapter in my life, new family. Those that are borderline, if they're looking for something to keep them going that they lack from their former life, this is kind of one of those places to go. We still have our situations here where some of us have issues, and it gives you a drive as you were to live. We're here for each other. If you ask me, that's our primary purpose with these clubs, is to give a new sense of home and belonging.
Getting into business news, by the start of August, we will have 3 new businesses in E-Town open. Juanito Street Tacos. I posted some photos on Facebook. They're going to go from their food trucks that people know. I know it usually Apothecary. I've seen them quite a bit over there at that corner by Papa John's. And I think I've seen them at like O'Reilly before. I know they have a brick and mortar in Radcliffe. They are coming to E-Town in the, call it Roses Plaza. I think it's Woodland Plaza is the official name. The former Papaw's barbecue location over there. So they are taking over. I took pictures the other day. They're also going to have an ice cream shop, which would be nice. And they look like they're almost ready to go. I think they posted they would be open within the next 10 days, and that was last week. So I would say by the end of this week or next week that they're open. Cosmic Golf and their $1 million renovation, they will be open by the end of July. They've posted they just put down the turf for the golf. But their thing is they just want to make sure everything's ready. They've had some things ready and some things not, but they want to make sure when they open, it's 100% good to go, so you don't get a negative first impression of them. It's like, oh, this should have been done. Like, no, it's going to be ready to go 100% full bore when they open. They will be open by the end of July. They will be posting on their website what there is. And then Duff's Famous Wings. I got to do a sneak peek the other day, right before I went out to Liquor Barn and saw JD Shelburne. But I went there Sunday, took some pictures. If you saw the wall, it's got Duff's E-Town on it. If you saw the red and blue mural, they used local artists, which I thought was awesome to localize the building. It is a sports bar. I mean, it is Buffalo inspired, but it's got a Bengals helmet in there. It's got Tennessee Titans in there. If you go above a bar, you've got a UVL helmet looking at a UK helmet right there. So I think it's going to be fantastic. Then they should be open in the next 2 weeks. They're more than 50 employees. So that's great for jobs over there. And just being surrounded by the hotels, I know the hotels will be glad to have somebody back in that building. So all 3 of those open in the next month. Is there any certain ones that you two are excited about?
Lakeside was, I think so too. I've been reading more about it. Sounds really good. And then Cosmic Golf as well too. I mean, Cosmic Golf, we've been waiting on that for a while. I'm pretty excited about it, checking it out when it's open.
So I think all 3 are going to do fantastic. All 3 have great reputations. Have put a lot of money into it. So that's going to be nice. And new food truck I saw posted on Facebook. They are debuting Wednesday. So our usual former day, they are debuting tomorrow at Thurman's Landing down in Sonora. They're called Super Sweet. I don't know if we have pictures that we know.
Yeah. Let me find it. Let me swap this one out for it. You can keep talking about it for a second.
It's run by Tori Taunton. I don't know her. I just know that I just saw the post. They're gonna have cups of sourdough bread bowls with options like tomato basil, chicken noodle, creamy potato soup, grilled cheese. I know my wife loves grilled cheese. I mean, even when our kids, I'm sure we all ate grilled cheese at one point. So they're gonna have that. Basic cheddar jack smoked Gouda with bacon and chives, sharp cheddar and apple. I know that's a great combination. And sharp cheddar with pesto. That's a little bit above my taste palette, but I know sure people are going to like it. If you like to spice it up a little bit, they'll have jalapenos and other things like pickles, onions, Spam. I always love to be good Spam. in Hawaii, ate it twice. And hot sauce. Bread choices are sourdough loaf, croissant, potato bread, or just sourdough. For sweets, they're going to have large homemade cookies like chocolate chip peanut butter. With Tori's surprise include chocolate peanut butter, cinnamon, and mint chips. And they are veteran owned. So we just talked about veterans. So it's great to have a veteran owned business in our community. And so if you are out running around Sonora tomorrow, they'll be there. And I'm sure like the 270 Food Truck Finder, I know that they're great about promoting the local food trucks. I'm sure they'll be on there too. When I was out around downtown, I noticed when I was driving around the Blue House, which is across from Brown Pusey on the backside, and then the tourism building. They are both planning to be rezoned, I think this week or next week, to C5. The C5 purpose, from what has been explained to me, is that C5 allows alcohol. So in order to be part of the hub and expand the hub, they have to be rezoned that. I don't think there's going to be a lot of pushback on that. We shall see, but that kind of just has to be done. I do find it interesting that they bought and moved it to the tourism building before it had been rezoned. I don't know if that's a common thing. It just seems kind of strange to me. Big Lots, they're back. The plaza is getting a nice makeover. I posted on Facebook. If you go to the Planning and Zoning Commission, they have been in front of Planning and Zoning. I think it was approved. If you drive out there, they've already taken the whole thing down. So it looks like they're full bore going for this thing. There'll be brand new darker metal signage, kind of like I would say like the mall's been doing with the darker black and white concept. It should pop more, should be nicer because how old that place is. I'm 44 and I'm pretty sure it's older than me because that building's been there so it's nice to see some money put into that. Ringwood Center, when I was out driving around, if you saw the sign, they are now leasing. There are 5 more spots in addition to K-Pot. Since they're leasing, I'm assuming that none of them have been already pre-leased or zoned, as it says all 5 are available. So that'll be nice to see who moves over there with them in that area. Basically, once you get there, it's just a big, nice walking area because you got K-Pot in the 5, and it's an easy walk, and the roads connect and the parking lots connect to the Qdoba Wingstop Plaza. So that's nice to see all that stuff start coming together. Any questions, concerns from you all?
Not at the moment. I was curious what John might think about what his favorite food item on that new food truck menu, you know?
That sounds interesting. Yeah, no, it sounds super interesting. I'm down to try anything except for pickled cucumbers. I'm not a pickled cucumber fan. Spam. I love spam, but pickled cucumbers, something about them. I'm just not a fan. I did have a question about the rezoning. So what buildings were getting rezoned?
All right. So if you're at the corner, you've got Brown Pusey.
Yep.
And then you've got the Yellow House, which is already zoned something. I think that's owned by Kevin Addington and the ERA.
Right.
Then across from Brown Pusey on the other side is the Blue House. I think it used to be some sort of, how do I word it?
Maybe.
Or I think it was like a coaching type of thing.
Okay.
And then the tourism building itself, the one that they remodeled and did a great job with, both those other 2 are going to C5.
And that was what I was confused about because the hub only goes to Poplar. So on that other side, are they going to rezone the hub? Because I get word that they would have to, because that doesn't include that other side of the street.
Right. I think basically it's going to be an annex type of thing. They're going to annex it into the hub and extend the hub. I know that there's a plan to host an art festival, kind of like obviously we won't be as big as the St. James Court Art Festival. We're not going to touch it. I think there's plans to host that, but in order to have those 2 buildings a part of it, you have to extend the hub.
Gotcha.
Which building? Go ahead. Which building are we talking about over here? Is it the one that's directly across, or?
So both the ones across the other side. So if you got Brown Pusey on the bottom right, is that correct? Is that Brown Pusey in the bottom right? So that's Brown Pusey. Okay, so it would be
up above to the right. Yep, right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, like I said, they'd have to rezone. And how far are they going to take the hub? If that's because they usually do it by streets. So I just wondered if they're going to go up further into that residential area.
You want to go down the street to the left. I'm pretty sure because there's Brown Pusey there. So you want to go down the street to the left.
This way?
So, I think so. Or is that
right there? Or we'll just blue one over here. Now,
the Yellow House is that one.
Now,
gotcha. All right. Well, now everybody can see
the
it.
Yellow House, I think, is already okayed, so it didn't have a rezoning based on it. But the other 2 are going to be rezoned.
Interesting. Okay.
I think that's if I pulled up that sign, it's got the immediate.
So tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, there is a run going on at the Running Souls, 6:30 in the morning. They do like a little run on the Wednesdays in the morning. That's something fun that you can do if you want to get out and get active to start your day. After you do your run, swing on the Vibe Coffee, grab you a coffee. Super good local made coffee, fresh every day. Thursday, we got a couple events going on. So we've got the first Jeep night at Hub House. That's going to be 6 to 9 over there. And they are in the hub. So you can grab a hub cup from them and head over to the Tavern in the Garden. We got Casey and Romy. They're a big favorite here around. They play BBT all the time. I think they played last Saturday at BBT here. And they're playing the Tavern coming up here soon on Thursday. Also, we have at BBT, the Friends of Hardin County Animal Shelter is going to be here for the Dog Days of Summer. So 10% of your purchases here at BBT will go towards that good cause. Friday, there's the Golf Scramble, the 4th annual Birdies and Burgers, presented by the VFW Post 12237. Good time, presented by, again, Birdies and Burgers. Friday, there's also a car show at Bob Swope Ford from 3 to 7. Free vehicles to enter, free to the public to come look at all the cars. Give you a little teaser for next weekend, because again, next weekend is going to be that big cruise in the Heartland downtown. Also,
And that's going to be at Bob Swope Ford, you said?
Bob Swope Ford, yep.
Okay.
1307 North Dixie. Saturday, if you like peaches, Peach Truck, it's here. It's at Rural King. Get you some peaches, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Make sure you get some of those peaches. Everybody likes a nice peach. They're coming straight up from Georgia. Get you some.
Or at least get your kids some. I know my kid loves peaches.
Yeah, get your kids some. And then actually, after you get your kid a peach, take them over to the watercolor party over at the library. Have them paint something. It's a cool thing they're doing from 10 to 11 at the Hardin County Library. Does your kid like to paint, Phil?
He does. He enjoys it. He went to art camp this year, and
Okay.
and he likes being creative. And I think it's good for all kids to do, even if they're not very good.
Hey, that's all subjective, right? I mean, I feel like I draw things that look like a 3-year-old drew it, but some people like it. So as long as somebody likes it, it's
Worst
good.
handwriting in the world here. So
Oh, I can barely read my own. Also, Saturday, we've got Kevin Jaggers. I don't know if anybody can see that picture. Maybe zoom in on your stuff. Actually, I'll bring this down. Ooh, yeah. Little Kevin Jaggers playing here in BB.
yeah, very nice.
Oh, there it goes. He'll be playing here. Always a good time. Local favorite. Excellent time. Also, on Saturday, we have at the First Presbyterian Church, they're doing a Making Room for Wildlife in Your Spaces. That is done with Paul Gerard. He's going to kind of show you how you can make room in your space for wildlife to kind of be what it should be. You know, we've kind of encroached upon a lot of wildlife here in Kentucky. They want to live, they want to survive, and they still will, but we can make it easier on them and kind of help give us a good place to live too. So that's a cool little thing to check out. Also, if you like local whiskey and local celebrities, this guy, Stephen Fonte, he's an interesting fella. He worked at Limestone Branch. That's where he's at. He was one of their big tour guides, and now he's their brand ambassador. He's a big guy. He loves cheap whiskey. He'll tell you about it. He said, drink cheap whiskey. He's making a makeup day at the Revival Whiskey place here in E-Town, down on Helm Street. Also, if you like to garden, there's a cool thing coming up next Tuesday. It's Tuesday nights in the garden, 5:30 to 7:30 at the community garden down here downtown across from the United Way. So they got a community garden down there where you can kind of grab some local veggies if you need something. They've got some tomatoes, peppers, different things down there. They even got some herbs and stuff to kind of spice up your dish.
Yeah, I didn't know. I've seen that garden. I didn't know what the purpose of it was for. So that's a United Way of Central Kentucky garden over there.
United Way. Yeah. So last year I was part of it. They kind of gave individual local people a plot to kind of plant what you wanted. And that was for you. But then there was also a community area too that anybody could grab from. Now, could you stop anybody from grabbing yours? No, but it still was a whole thing of like you planted what you wanted and then you go harvest it and kind of make sure it's growing the way you want it to grow. But it's a really good program that they do down there.
It's great. They do a lot. United Way does in our area. We'll have to highlight them in the future more about what their different services are.
Definitely. We can get one of them on here, I'm sure too.
Yeah, cool. So
So isn't there a community orchard over at the nature park as well? I believe when you first come in on the right side.
I don't know about that. No, there could be.
Yeah, I think I remember that last time I was out there. Like you come in before you like turn to go to the veterans. So you come in and then you go around that, I guess, roundabout, that corner of the roundabout on the right side. There's a community orchard. I forget who sponsors it, but I'll take a picture next time I'm out there.
Definitely. I love some apples or pears or whatever we could grow around here.
Yes. I know my parents they are. I know my parents are participating in that quick seed pumpkin growing contest. I don't know if you've seen that going on, but we'll see what happens. It is. It is. If you're friends with my parents on Facebook, go to their personal page, Keith Megan Tall, and check out their videos on that pumpkin they're growing. My mom even got a degree in pumpkinology, so it's pretty funny and good entertainment.
Last year when I usually go down to Dollywood every fall because their pumpkin festival and Halloween stuff's fantastic, and they have giant pumpkins, and one of them was from Meade County, and it was like huge.
Cool. Well, did you cover everything you had, John, event-wise?
Yeah, I think I got everything we needed.
You planning on going to any of those?
I'll be definitely going to. I'm gonna check out the Jeep night. I don't drive a Jeep, but I like to look at all the ducks that they put on the dashes, and they do all that stuff. So that'd be interesting to check out all those Jeeps over there. And then like Tavern in the Garden. It's always a great place to go. And then I may check out the walking tour. I didn't mention that, but again, that's every Thursday as well, weather permitting. And I haven't seen all the new actors and recreators, so I need to check it out this year.
Yeah. I haven't been walked that in a while, probably 10 years. And it is good. So if you haven't done the walking tour, do it. It is worth it. You get to see that cannonball. Is it still there? I guess it is, right? They can't move it.
It is still there, yeah. And it's a free thing to learn about downtown, right? I mean, the history that kind of helped build this city.
Yes, I agree. What about you, Nate? Any of these events you're planning on going to?
Oh, I wish I could go to some of them, but due to my second shift work schedule, it makes it hard. Like I'm friends with the guys at Hub House. If you go on their website, I'm actually featuring in a couple of their ads. Well, I'm a background eater, unprofessional. I actually had somebody come in this weekend. They're from Pennsylvania. They're down at the big Oldsmobile Fest down in Bowling Green. And one of the guys I met through my wife's travel agency, he has one of the last Oldsmobiles ever made. And they drove it down from Pennsylvania, and it's going to be paired with one of the first Oldsmobiles ever made. Bad thing is that's the car he drove, so now he has no car for 3 days. But he loves classic cars. They meant to come in and see SWO. So I think a lot of people will be excited for that one. The wildlife one is intriguing to me. I know I went to Dr. Gerard back in the 80s. I'm sure a lot of people our age knows who Dr. Gerard is. Played soccer with his son. But that's a neat little thing that I'm sure people...
It's called making room for your wildlife in yours, I guess, on your property. 10 a.m. Saturday.
If I drank alcohol, stupid diabetes, I think the mixer would be awesome. So I tried Curacao and Curacao, and it just didn't work. But I'm all for alcohol. I grew up Catholic, so I should be all for it. I like what the Hub's done for downtown. I like what BBT and Hub House and Social have done for downtown. But I think that makeup mixer would be nice for people. It's not really my thing. And then, like we said, the Tavern and the Gardens are always great. I like how it's grown and grown. You get more musical acts, more sponsors now. It seems like the crowds, based on the pictures, get bigger and bigger. I just work on Thursday night. But Kevin Jaggers always puts on a great show. Casey and Romy put on great shows. We're fortunate to have a nice collection of local artists that can perform in this area, and they're high quality. Like it's been good to see them grow and develop, and they're not just out there karaokeing, for the lack of a better term. But they're out there. They try. They're energetic. I've seen some of them interact with me on Facebook. So I like our entertainment scene and how it is, and it's be excited to see where it is in 5 or 10 years from now.
I agree. It looks like Jamie, which is John's girlfriend, right? Apparently plans now Thursday night. She's just about moved. Oops. Todd also said, hey, back to you, Todd Quinton.
Oh, yeah, Dad.
And he said he only drinks cheap whiskey at BBT. Never heard of that.
I haven't been inside Revival. I know that they had, I think, the original locations in Northern Kentucky, and I think this is their second location. I know that Shannon Smith, who played soccer at E-Town, I covered her. She's one of the people that run it. I knew they did a great job renovating it, kind of promoting it when I first got here. Looks like a nice interior. Looks like a great time. Not my thing, but it is. Is that still considered the hub where they're at, John?
Yeah, so the hub, so pretty much the hub goes all the way down 62 to Pritchard, but then it cuts up right between Flywheel all the way up to Brown Funeral Home, then down North Miles. So that neighborhood kind of is all in the hub. That's why I was wondering how far we were going to go with it towards Poplar. If we're going to cross Poplar, how far are they thinking about going that way?
I have no idea. I haven't really asked anybody. I don't know if it would be Jeff. Is it the tourism bureau? Who would control that? Like who's the name behind it?
So it's somebody in the city, but also ABC controls that pretty heavily as well.
So I'd have to talk to one of those. But yeah, I like the idea of the hub. I think it's been great for the community. Obviously, people are starting to take advantage of it with the cups and being able to walk around, and instead of just staying in one spot, now they're able to float and move, which is good for all the businesses, no matter where they bought the cup from, because now they're exploring and staying down there longer. So I'm glad we have it. I think Hodgenville's kind of has a different version of that I've seen. So
Yeah.
but I'm all for more businesses and other things coming to downtown because, like I said, John and Bourbon Barrel, you all done a great job. The Dixie Strip's coming back to life. I mean, it's just been awesome to see where we're going. How we continue to, because I know that the Volstead's coming down there. Bird Whistle Books is on the way. I know Riders, there'll be plans for Riders. There's plans for Nicely's. I heard the Courthouse Hotel's back up and back on the move again. Maybe the proposed apartments over at the old Herb Jones building, or I think is something's going to be announced soon, and it's supposed to be good news. Lots of good news coming out of downtown.
Yeah, looks like we have drama going on in the comments. I mean, not really. Harvey, we know Harvey's making a joke with your special lady friend there.
Yeah.
Good times. And I went ahead and pulled up on screen where that revival is, in case you don't know where it's at. Somebody said in the comments they didn't. I'd highly suggest, if you like old and vintage drinks and that sort of atmosphere, to try it out. It's a little bit harder to find than it may not be, but it's pretty easy on the map when you look over here. If you're down here by Social on Main, you just cross over 62 and take this little street. Which street is that? Helm? That's not Helm, is it? It ends. Yeah, it's still Helm. And this used to be, was there a motorcycle shop down through here? Or is there still one there? It's right next to it, right?
No, it is Wilson's.
Oh, okay.
It was.
It is.
Yeah. Now, next to that is Total Elkin, really good hair salon that's right next to that.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Now I can see. Oh, there you go. We hadn't talked about Revival before. We'll have to do a little bit more on them just so people know that they're back.
I did see some, because occasionally I'll just type in Elizabeth Town, Kentucky on YouTube to see what pops up. I'll probably end up making like a curated E-Town list for all this stuff. I know there's a liquor bourbon person that goes around to all these shops and they hit up, I think, John O's and Revival as well to try to find some of this hard to find stuff.
We had another comment by Jamie here. Hanging in the backyard again. All right. But I think we've got everything covered. Just wanted to remind you guys, if you haven't done it, get this QR code. It's up there. Or go to hardinlocal.com or take a screenshot and you can pull the QR code that way. And just go finish that checklist and follow us on our other channels, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And we try to make it as easy as possible for you to digest this information. And like I said, we will restream this, or I'll restream it at 9 p.m. tonight. So everything we just did, it'll be back on then. But you can also watch the recording if you see this. If you just turned on and you're like, oh, I'm kind of curious what else we talked about, you can watch the recording, or you can wait till 9 p.m. for the next stream, which will be just the same content. I'll also clip up the content. I usually do that within the same day and make a bunch of short clips of the different events and business news. With that being said, thank you guys for joining us for Hardin Local this week. We'll be back next Tuesday. Scott should be back with us and probably have a special guest as well. And yeah, thank you all. And keep checking us on our page and join our Facebook group too, the Hardin Local group. And that's where we put a lot of content there that we don't post to the page. And you can also share your own content as long as you're not scamming, spamming, or I can't think of another S word, but yeah. Anywho, John, Nate, anything else to add, or are we good to go?
I'm good. Just want to say happy belated 50th anniversary of my parents. They had the 50th anniversary this past weekend. So I just wanted Shout out to them. Made it 50 years together. That's an achievement.
That is
Quick question for you, John. The main tennis court at Freeman Lake, who is it named after? I wonder.
It's Bo O'Brien Court. That's center court out there.
I had no
This
idea.
is a good thing. Oh yeah, Bo was when I first became a sports writer back when I was a young pup and before the whole gray hair incidents. Bo was the face of the community, and he's still the face of the tennis community, running all the camps and clinics and turning in photos of everything. I think he hit me up like usually once a week. If I went without a week without Bo, something was wrong. He showed me the ropes on the tennis community and who to talk to, and he was instrumental in getting those tennis courts built out there after because people don't realize that the Freeman Lake Tennis Complex, which is fabulous and gorgeous, those tennis courts were originally part of the sports park original design, and then they got kicked out because when they just started to go to the tournament complex, which has been a great move, but I think we ended up with a way better spot and a way better location than we would have. So sometimes when the whole one door closes, one door opens type of thing, and Bo and the tennis people were instrumental. So okay, how about Freeman Lake? And the city was behind it, and Tim and all the other people, Jeff too, has helped out there. But at least the past three mayors have been fantastic about making sure that our tennis community was kept up with and appreciated.
Yeah, and let's not forget Matt Deneen either. He's done tons of work out there.
Did I see that the university courts are getting demolished for basketball courts?
Yeah, that was one thing I was going to talk about because it's not really like a business and it's not really community events. But two things I know that me and John especially grew up on: PK Stone. I remember football games, soccer games out there. That stadium's gone. I think it was called Doug Smith Memorial Stadium. They're building a school over it. They will get a new field. So I remember lots of E-Town Central Hardin football games on Friday nights before the Heartland Fest and other stuff. So, I mean, it's hosted some major events. Marching band out there too, and then the University Drive Tennis Complex, which has seen better days. I mean, really, the concrete was bad. It floods. You've got that hill. If you're not used to playing on it, so if you're a visitor, you have to kind of adjust your swing. It's going to be replaced with I think 2 or 3 basketball courts and more parking. So I think that'll be good in the long run because really there's not too many places to play full court basketball out here. And then Central Hardin's getting 8 brand new tennis courts. So, we lose University Drive, but we gain that. I think it's a nice trade-off. So I think we're coming out a lot better in the long run.
For sure. Yeah. I was talking to Dad about it this weekend, and he told me when he first started playing tennis down that there were no trees between there and the Pass. And I was like, he's been around. Yeah, he's been around for a little while.
Wow, I wanted to take a quick minute to highlight a concert going on out at the Emerald Cathedral that I know Matt Deneen shared. That's going to be August. So if you haven't been out and you want to go see a show on August 8th, this would be a great one to go do. You can buy the tickets, I think, on the Green Spaces website for $10, or I think you can also buy them for cash. But they have this great summer concert series, and Matt's been on before to talk about it, but just wanted to remind you, check that.
It's also just an awesome venue to watch something. I walked out there before. Again, I haven't been able to on the show nights, but it's just a great local, small, intimate. But I can imagine whenever somebody's on that stage and the lights are on and people are watching, a unique setting to go watch this.
Yeah, I agree. The website to get those tickets is greenspaceky.com. Keep it easy. Greenspaceky.com. All right, guys. Well, thank you everybody for joining, and thank you, Nate, and thank you, John, for being here. And we will see you all next week. Have a careful, safe week.